De Marbury Guesthouse. Ik kan niks anders doen dan naar binnen. Dus dan doen we dat maar.
Marbury. There is a very pretty village by this name, in Cheshire.
Let's go. Er is een zingvrouw.
Ah, dat is die
It
vraag.
looks like I found the real master of this house.
Ah, er is een kat.
Een zitkat. Zo'n shrine.
Ja.
There is no need to worry about the household cat. I'm sure that Mrs. Marbury lets it do what it pleases.
Oké, kunnen we verder nog ergens kijken voordat we haar gaan ondervragen? Nee.
Antwoord is nee.
Dan gaan we maar eens praten met die mevrouw.
How do you do? You must be Mr. Hercule Poirot. Chief Inspector Jack told me that you might be coming.
Kijk hoor.
Ja, ik ben wel benieuwd wat er zou gebeuren als je die game zo zou spelen.
Ja.
It
Al
would
die
be
rare
my
dingen
pleasure
eigenlijk.
to
Als een
help
zak.
you. Well, there be some journalists there as well.
I think you might even be interviewed. You are key witness.
I've suspected him for some time, but he appeared so harmless. Oh yes, sometimes he got angry and waved his arms about. But even then, he wasn't frightening. And he was as gentle as a lamb again immediately afterwards. It was only this morning that I understood. He told me he was going to Cheltenham, but my daughter saw him at Euston Station. It's not the right station. To get to Cheltenham, you have to take the train from Paddington. And what's more, Mr. Cust left behind an ABC with Doncaster underlined.
Ah,
As you can imagine, when I saw that, I called Scotland Yard.
wat een slimme vrouw. We gaan haar feliciteren.
Well done. You were right. He did go to Doncaster.
So I was right to warn the police.
Tell me, did you have any other reason to suspect Mr. Cust?
Well, he's odd. Sometimes he coughs really loudly and complains
Kijk,
that his throat is
keelproblemen.
burning, and sometimes he talks to himself and stares into space. He told me that it was because of a wound he got in the war. His head hasn't been quite right since, he said. And then he was in Churston when that millionaire got murdered. I found his train ticket when I washed his coat. He didn't want me to wash his shirt. He washed it himself. But I did see big brown stains on it.
Was het bloed? Of, waar waren de vlekken? Nee, we gaan gewoon zeggen was het bloed.
Do you think it was blood?
Well, when I saw them, I thought, look, he spilled his wine or his soup all over
Hij is
himself.
at ease.
But now that I think about it, well, they did look like blood.
Cut used to travel for his work. Is that correct?
Oh, it wasn't for pleasure. He was always unwell on trains. But he had to sell his stockings around England. I have to respect my engagements, he used to say.
Do you know where Cust was at the time of the murder in Andover and Bexhill? On June the 21st and July the 25th.
Even.
No, I don't know. That was a while ago, you know.
But surely you keep a register.
It won't do you much good. Mr. Cuss rents his room for the year. If he goes away for a few days, I have no reason to make a note of it. Ah, I remember one thing. Bexhurst by the sea, right?
Indeed, it is a large seaside resort.
Well, as it happens, at the start of July, Mr. Cust asked me to repair his bathing dress. Suspicious, huh?
Ja, ga verder.
Very interesting. Please continue.
I also forgot to say that he started buying newspapers that talked about the case.
Oké.
Which newspapers?
The evening ones and the daily ones.
That will be all for now. I'm going to
Right.
take a look at his room.
Ze is
Take the
droog.
key on the counter.
Nou, we krijgen een sleutel. Dat is lekker makkelijk.
Ja.
Ik kan nog even haar observeren.
This woman appears to be in a good mood.
Smooth movement.
Mrs. Marbury is in a good mood. She's working very precisely in producing incredibly thin peel.
De aardappel is ook bijzonder zwart.
Ik ben heel even weg.
Sleutel
I should
meenemen.
check the register. Mrs. Marbury may have been hiding something from me.
I don't think my register will help you. Mr. Cust rents his room all year. If he goes away for a few days, I have no reason to make a note of it.
Ja, dat zijn ze, ja. We gaan toch even kijken.
The truth is becoming apparent, and I have something to say to Mrs. Marbury.
Mrs. Marbury.
Mrs. Marbury is in a good mood. She's working very precisely in producing incredibly thin peel.
Heeft zij dan toch gelogen? Question Mrs. Marbury. She sublets her rooms to other guests when her usual residents are away. Ah. Ik wil graag met haar praten als het mag. Hallo, game. Mag ik die vrouw aanklikken? Nee.
There is no need to worry about the household cat. I'm sure that Mrs. Marbury lets it do what it pleases.
Ik wil graag die vrouw aanklikken. Zo.
Mrs. Marbury, if I am to believe the register, you rented room 306 to a certain Mr. Fishman on the day of the Bexhill murder. Room 306 is Cust's room. Can you explain yourself?
Yes, I remember. Just for one night as a favour. Mr. Cust was away, all my other rooms were taken, and poor Mr. Fishman had nowhere to go.
It doesn't matter, provided that you remembered to change the sheets.
Oh, do you think so?
Nou, dan gaan we maar naar boven. Search Cust's room. Eerst de snor goed doen. Eerst de snor goed doen. Even kijken op plankje.
Laudanum Cameron's Chemists. Laudanum, a medicine for coughs. It is what Dr. Clark prescribed for Mrs. Asher.
Ja.
The subject would probably be useful to me.
Anyway.
Welkom terug. Ik ben net de kamer binnengelopen en we hebben 1 flesje gepakt.
Diethyl
dat scheelt,
barbituric
dat
acid.
Namelijk
Johnson
die
Company.
laudanum, dat medicijn.
I know this medicine. It is a powerful sedative. The subject would probably
En
be
nu nemen we
useful
dit
to
ook
me.
mee, deze medicijn. Even kijken, hier liggen die ABC's.
ABC guys, enough to sign about a dozen murders.
En nog een
It's
dichte
closed.
doos.
ABC guy,
Nee, wat moet ik nog meer aanklikken dan? Het label?
it's closed.
Nee. Er staat 1 van de 2, dus ik moet nog iets aanklikken.
ABC guys,
Oh, wacht, ik moet hem natuurlijk openmaken misschien. Ik kan met die sleutel dat ding opensnijden. Nee. Ergens een mesje vandaan halen misschien. Of iets. Wat ligt hier op tafel? Er ligt ook nog wat. In die kast. Even in de kast kijken.
trousers, white shirts. Everything has been washed very well. The Bexhill daily paper,
Ja.
dated from the day of the Bexhill murder. Most probably the basting dress repaired by Mrs. Marbury's expert hands. All the main articles referring to the ABC case are here, from the Churston murder onwards. Nothing before that date.
Oké. Nou, dan hebben we hier nog het bed.
Ja.
How hopeful. This place is a real mess.
Oh. Slightly misaligned. A real mess. Die af was.
Oh ja, tuurlijk. Ja.
Zou jij toch moeten weten?
Jij dat moet weten.
The least we can say that Mr. Cust is not very concerned about order and balance.
Nou, lach maar. Even op tafel kijken. Kijk, hier is een mes. Daar moeten we die doos mee openmaken.
A long-bladed knife. A murderer's weapon. This subject would probably be useful to me.
Kijk, handig.
Cust is parsimonious. He keeps his pencils and sharpens them until there is nothing left. It is clear that he did not grow up in luxury. It's an ABC.
Ah,
I have to get the ribbon. How am I going to do it?
staat er nog op zelfs. Dear Mr. Poirot.
The left-hand heel has been removed.
Nou, doen we rechts maar hetzelfde, hè?
The right-hand heel has been removed.
Hoppakee.
And here is the ribbon. Let us see if it was indeed used to write the letters sent by ABC. I only need the ink ribbon for my inquiry. I will let Jack clean the keyboard if he wishes.
Mr. Poirot.
All the letters announcing the murders were written on Cust's typewriter.
Joh,
Ja,
wat een verrassing.
inderdaad.
John Milligan, Managing Director, Silky Legs, Frederick Street,
Legs.
Leicester.
Ja, lekker.
To A.B. Cust, Marbury's Guest House, 1935, May the 21st. Dear Sir, further to our letters dated 5th and 10th of the month, we confirm we are you as door-to-door salesman, according to the conditions stated in our previous letters. We will send you the articles by mail and also a Redfield typewriter you will be using for every business letter. Regarding the schedule of your rounds, please do as following. June 21, Andover. Arrive by train the 20th in the evening and get a room at Station Hotel.
Die inkt wegwerken.
Start
denk
your
ik.
turn in the north part of the town. This letter establishes that Cust went to Andover, but the ink has hidden the destinations of his other trips. I know from Mrs. Marbury that he went to Churston. I just have to show that he went to Bexhill, and I will have proved that he was present at all the crime scenes.
Precies.
Did
Ongevallen
Cust
flesje.
drop it when he opened the window? Or was it Mrs. Marbury while she was cleaning?
Dan kunnen we nu met dat mes dat ding openmaken, hè, die dichte doos.
His knife is very useful.
Silky legs.
Who knows? Maybe it never cut anything other than string. Stockings. Stockings.
Ja. Even kijken, wat kunnen we nog meer bekijken? Dit is denk ik de hele tafel. Oh, daar. aan de
War
muur.
of 1914-1918. By the King's order, the name of Corporal A.B. Cust, Devonshire Regiment, was published on the London Gazette on May the 10th, 1918, as mentioned in a dispatch for gallant and distinguished service. An army dispatch, wounded on the Somme front, victim of a gas attack. Corporal Cust greatly deserves his distinction.
Een gas attack, dat zou ook zijn...
Ja, zijn klachten.
Ja. Moet ik de andere kastje ook nog bekijken, of niet? Nee, dit heb ik al gedaan.
Nee.
Je moet hem nog in Bexhill krijgen.
Ja.
Wat is hier beneden nog? Ah, bloed.
This dark stain.
Ah.
It could be blood, but goodness knows how long it has been there. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
Nou, daar gaan we.
Een goede nadenk doen.
Where was Cust at the time of the Bexhill murder? Hij was niet hier, want die kamer was verhuurd. En hij had een schone broek. The Bexhill local paper from the day of the murder. Dus hij was daar. Ja.
Ja.
Probably.
The register shows that Cust did not sleep at the guest house on the day of the murder. Where was he? Bexhill. The Bexhill paper reveals it. Cust bought this newspaper in Bexhill on July the 25th. No use continuing the inspection of this room. I've seen all there is to see.
Nou, dan gaan we weer. Is Jap hier nu? Nee.
Goodbye, Mrs. Marbury. Thank you for your help.
Bye.
Ah, Chief Inspector. I was about to leave.
Good evening, Chief Inspector. Welcome. Please excuse me, I must go to the kitchen. I'll leave the key of Mr. Cust on the counter.
I'm sorry I'm late. I've spent ages with the Doncaster police. And you?
I have established one fact. On 3 occasions, Cust was at the scene on the day of the crimes.
Wat een verdachte man.
I had best talk to Job.
I've listened closely to what you have to say, Poirot. For me, there's no doubt Cust is guilty. Do you have any element that might prove the contrary?
That is what we're going to look for. Let us now try and get our brain cells
Is
to work.
Cust guilty? Was it possible for Cust to have killed 3 victims? Nou ja. Cust was in Churston. Cust was in Bexhill. Cust was in Andover. Lijkt me goed, hè? Are there any common points between Cust and the killer? Hij heeft bloedophostdingen.
Oh, bloedophoestdingen.
Hij heeft ABC-guides. En alle brieven zijn verstuurd. Oh nee. Doncaster. Wacht, dit moet er niet bij dan. Dit is natuurlijk een slachtofferding, niet een killerding. Dus hij heeft ABC-guides, hij heeft een mes en hij heeft de brieven geschreven. Ja, dat hoort bij elkaar. Is hij verdacht? Nou, hij heeft alle kranten, hij liegt en hij heeft bloed.
The evidence against Cust is overwhelming. His presence at the scenes, the knife, the blood-stained shirt, the ABCs in a box.
C'est vrai. However, the blood Mrs. Marbury saw on Cust's shirt may have been his own. According to his medical records, he suffers from hemoptysis. The murderer cut Sir Carmichael's throat from behind, and the blood spurted outwards. You would expect the murderer's shirt to be stained on the sleeves and the buttonholes, yet we see quite the opposite. You would expect the murderer to keep the newspaper articles about his crimes. But Cust's collection starts in Cheston, as if it discovered the case rather late.
I agree it's troubling, but it doesn't change my mind. There's small details that we should be able to clear up by questioning Cust.
When can we talk to him?
Doncaster is sending him to us on the first train.
Are they questioning him already?
He says he can't remember a thing.
It's plausible. Doctors say he suffers from absences and amnesia. Mrs. Marbury has confirmed this.
He may have done the murders in an altered state.
A familiar situation.
It's not enough to clear his name. Dr. Thompson insisted that even if you don't know what you're doing, you never commit a murder without wanting to.
Très intéressant. I shall remember that.
Right.
Interessante
I'll
gedachte.
go and examine the suspect's room.
Chief Inspector, I took the liberty of removing a few clues to examinatum.
All right, we'll discuss them tomorrow. In the meantime, I'm going to see if you've missed something.
En nu gaan wij weer naar huis.
Dat denk ik.
Go to Scotland Yard. Nou, dan gaan we maar met de taxi.
To Scotland Yard, please.
Dit is Japse kantoor. Oh, daar zit hij. Eerst even begluren.
This man is not in good shape.
Hij heeft stress.
Ja.
He is worried and very tired, and other police have been hard on him.
Nou, ik ben benieuwd.
What do you want from me?
En we gaan onszelf presenteren.
Ja.
Good day, Mr. Cust. I am Hercule Poirot.
Ah, you're the detective.
We praten over de brief.
Yes, I am the person you have been sending the letters to.
I didn't write these letters. I've already said so.
Hij is er ingeluisterd, misschien.
Très bien. You did not hide these letters. But the question remains, who did?
Probably one of my enemies. I have many.
Hij heeft vijanden. Ik ga voor de theorie dat hij erin is geluisterd.
Ja.
I do not believe that you are capable of murder, Mr. Cust.
I hope not.
Hij heeft twijfeltjes. Ja.
You suffered during the war.
It's true. I was wounded. I suffered. But the army was the only place I didn't feel inferior. No questions. Just orders to follow.
But ever since you were wounded, you have absences, bouts of amnesia.
And headaches.
Professor Clark treated you.
Yes, a few years ago he really helped me with my burned throat.
Ik blijf geloven in zijn
Ja,
onschuld.
ik denk het ook.
Of course, you never
moet nog een
considered
plot twist
killing a
komen.
doctor who
Ja.
took such good care of you.
No. No, never.
Ja, de eerste.
Ja.
Do you deny being at the scene of the crimes?
So? There was no harm in being there. It was only for my work.
Hij is boos.
You were seen at all the crime scenes.
Yes, I was. I travel a lot. But not for pleasure. I am terribly unwell in trains. But I had to respect my engagements.
Ah,
My employer gave me very precise written instructions about the towns I had to visit.
Let's see. The company you claim to work for, Silky Legs, has never heard of you. And as for these letters they sent you, they were written on your own typewriter.
The company sent me the typewriter when I started working for them.
Yes, but the letters were received afterwards.
it would appear that you typed them. It proves that you wrote them. Nee, het lijkt erop, hè? Het lijkt
Ja,
erop.
ja.
So it would appear that you typed them before sending them to yourself.
I don't remember. Good God! I don't know what's happening to me. My head hurts terribly.
Misschien kunnen we hem een sedative aanbieden.
Take this. It will help you.
Dus 19 ego points.
I think
Yeah.
I'll be fine.
Let us see, Cust. Look at me. You know very well that you committed these murders?
Yes, I know.
Wat?
But I'm not wrong in saying that you do not know why you committed them.
No, I don't.
Hij is een puppet. En nu?
Let us leave Cust alone. He's at the end of his tether.
And what conclusions have you drawn?
Plenty. It might help us to understand him a little better.
Dus hij geeft toch toe wel dat hij
Let
de
us now
moorden heeft
try and
gepleegd,
get
maar hij
our
weet
brain
niet
cells to
waarom.
work.
What do we know about Cust's health? Nou, hij heeft bloed ophoesten.
Ja.
Hij heeft een probleem met zijn keel. Hij heeft absenties. Mentally and physically weak. Ja. Are there any clues that do not support Cust's guilt in the Churston murder? Ja, het geen reden. Lijkt me goed. Hij heeft de brieven niet geschreven. Niet. Clues that do not support his guilt.
Ah.
You would expect a murderer to keep news
Ja, dat zei hij
articles.
net al, ja.
Dat
Ja.
heeft hij niet. En hij had geen reden. Hij had geen reden, lijkt mij een goeie. Nou, blijkbaar niet. It do not support his guilt. Bloed. Ook niet. Hij heeft de brieven niet geschreven. Oh, ja. Bloed zat op de voorkant, maar niet waar we het verwacht hadden. Dat zijn ze, ja. Zijn er nog meer clues? Hij heeft die brieven niet geschreven. Geen reden. Is het blijkbaar niet. Hij heeft alle kranten bewaard, maar hij kent ons niet, terwijl wij in al die artikelen staan. Can we say without a shadow of a doubt that he is guilty? Nee, want hij heeft geen reden en hij heeft die brieven niet geschreven.
I don't see any clearer than before. This is worse.
There is one point to highlight. C'est curieux. Cust admits that he killed, but he does not know why. What did Dr. Thompson say? Even if Cust killed while in an altered state, it still must have been his deepest desire. He must have had a motive.
Let's keep it simple. Never mind his motive. He confessed.
But you see, he can confess to anything and everything. He denied the murders and then confessed to them. He confirmed that he never typed the letters. Then, with great ease, I managed to get him to say quite the opposite.
Come on, he behaved like a guilty man. He lied to his landlady.
Because deep down he believes himself guilty. From the papers, he noticed that he had always been at the scene of the crimes. He must think that he killed and then simply forgot what he had done.
How can you be so sure?
Let us look at his psychological profile.
Ah,
You will understand my point of view. Let us now try and get our brain cells to work.
We gaan zijn profiel schetsen.
Ja.
Is Cust clever? Nou ja, nee, want hij heeft problemen.
Nee. Ja.
Dit, hè? Hij wil orders opvolgen.
Hij is average, ja. Hij wil concrete opdrachten. Ik hou wel van deze
Is
man.
he sure of himself? Kijk, jezus. Completely harmless. Nee, is het niet. Oh, very hesitant and shy. Die zochten we, ja. Ja. Is hij een seducer? Nee, want hij is onzeker. Toch? Kijk, die. Ja, hij was onzeker. Without any charm. Arme man. Does he like trains?
Ja, hij is een trein. Ja, hij is een kot.
Is hij impulsief? Nee, want hij volgt alleen maar orders op, hè? Is hij generous? Nee, want hij is niet opgegroeid in luxe. Hij is een skereman.
You see? Cust's character is quite the opposite of the murderer's.
But if he's a madman, can we really talk about his character?
You know very well that our murderer does not behave like a psychopath. Apart from the signature, there is no ritual or repetition in the choice of victims.
Very well, you're right as always. So we have no confession, no culprit, no suspects, nothing. And all that after 2 months of inquiry? What should I do?
Have faith. Just give me 24 hours.
Go home. Ja, ik wil toch hier weer een checkpoint van maken.
Ja, dat is goed.
Want we hebben Cust geïnterviewd en dan gaan we thuis alles op een rijtje zetten, denk ik. Dat lijkt me een mooie afsluiter.
Lijkt me goed.
Dus dan zou ik zeggen, graag tot dan.
Joe.
Joe.